Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we are going to be going over what we can expect as we will be tracking a big storm system as we head into the end of this month, which could both bring heavy snowfall and as well as severe weather. So definitely get ready for that. Plus, we will also be dealing with warmer than normal temperatures across much of the United States during that time frame, which will start on Christmas Eve and continue through New Year's Eve, where we could be seeing temperatures well above average across every single U.S. state. So we will be keeping an eye on that closely, so make sure to stay tuned till the end so that way you guys know what to expect as we will be tracking all of that for you. And don't forget to subscribe, especially so that way you guys don't miss out on any other weather updates on Weather with Sim. I also did get a monitor as well, which is expected to arrive on Monday of next week. It should really help with my videos and as well as my live stream, so make sure to subscribe for that, as I did spend a lot of money to get that. So make sure to subscribe if you guys are waiting to see my monitor, which I will show you guys as it arrives to my house. So make sure to do that if you haven't already. Don't forget to leave a like as well. Those help out more than you know. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys have down below. Feel free to leave anything down below, and I'll get to those right after today's weather forecast. But let's first start off by taking a look at these watches, warnings, and as well as the advisories. And as you guys can see, we do have winter storm alerts in effect for the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and even parts there of the northern plains, with winter storm warnings currently in effect for places like Madison, Wisconsin, St. Paul, Indianapolis, which does include the Twin Cities region, all the way up there into North Dakota. You guys are likely to see some pretty heavy snowfall as we head into the next few hours, which, as you can see, we are going to be tracking a huge band of snowfall across this entire area. And as it continues to move southeast, this will continue to head into places like Michigan, Ohio, maybe even a little bit there of northern Indiana, back down there into Pennsylvania. So this is pretty much like one of these clipper systems that's just heading southeastward like that. So we are going to be keeping on it closely as it does continue to move far down southeast. But as of right now, just going to be tracking that winter storm potential across the Great Lakes and as well as the upper Midwest. And then after that, we will be tracking another storm system by the time we get into the middle of next week, which will be on Christmas Eve and as well as Christmas Day, where we could be seeing a big line of rainfall develop from the lower Ohio Valley all the way back down there into the Southern Plains. We also will have an atmospheric river event ongoing at the same time, as very, very heavy snowfall is going to be likely across most of the higher elevations out there to the west. So we will be watching that closely as we get into Christmas. So definitely expect there to be a white Christmas there across the higher elevations. And not only that, we also will be tracking even a little bit of snowfall potential across the northeast. So if you live across the eastern United States and you're hoping for a white Christmas, either go to one of the higher elevations out there to the west or go to New England, which I would probably go to New England just because it's closer. But unfortunately, not really seeing a white Christmas for these areas in the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and upper Midwest, because the snowfall chances will die down by the time we get into next week. And then after that, we will see even another storm system roll on through as we get closer to New Year's Eve. This is on Saturday, December 28th, where we are going to be tracking a pretty big storm system across the central United States, especially the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and as well as parts there of the south and southeast. This could bring a little bit of severe weather, especially areas south there of Lake Michigan, where we could be seeing some pretty big areas of Cape around, and this could definitely bring the potential for some severe weather, as we will be seeing Cape values of around 1,000 joules per kilogram down here across the Gulf Coast area, while when you get far to the north, the energy does not get as powerful, but it still is going to be enough to support a little bit of severe weather, as we will have plenty of moisture around, guys. We're talking the 60s across the Gulf Coast, all the way up there into the lower Ohio Valley, with 60-degree dew points across most of those areas. And not only that, the most concerning thing that could make this a pretty big severe weather event is the wind shear, okay? Look at that. We're going to be talking plenty of wind shear across that entire area. We're talking wind shear anywhere from, let's say, Illinois all the way back down there into the Gulf Coast, guys. This is going to be enough to potentially support an elevated threat for tornadoes by the time we head into Saturday, December 28th, especially across Illinois and Indiana. I think that's going to be the area to watch the closest, as it's not just because of the Cape, but it's more because of the wind shear. The wind shear plays a huge role on seeing tornadoes, which, like I said, I think places like Illinois, Indiana, and perhaps Kentucky is going to be the area to see the potential for severe weather as we get into the end of this month, which potentially could even be an elevated threat for tornadoes. We will watch that closely, so make sure to be on very high alert. And not only that, as that storm moves on out, this will not bring any severe weather to parts there of the Mid-Atlantic and as well as the New England areas, but still will continue to bring some showers, maybe even a few storms. But it's especially going to be the western side of that system where we could be talking about some snowfall on the western side of that system, which could impact northern Illinois, Wisconsin, and as well as the UP and Michigan. Now, keep in mind that some of those areas do see an average high of around 20 degrees depending on your location. I'm pretty sure the UP of Michigan sees average highs below freezing this time of year. And usually when your average high is below freezing, when your temperatures are above average, it's still very easily for snowfall to occur in these areas when your temperatures are above average, and that's because you're seeing an average high below freezing. So let's say your average high was 20 degrees, and let's say you were 5 degrees above that, you would be seeing temperatures of 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is still enough to really cause snowfall. So like I said, some of these areas see an average high so low, it's very easy for snowfall to still occur, and that even includes those areas out there to the west and the higher elevation. So even though you guys out there in the west will also be dealing with above normal temperatures, you guys are still likely to see the same thing, as some of you guys see average highs in the 20s, while you guys are only talking 10 degrees above average. That is still below freezing. And then let's now go ahead and look at your Climate Prediction Center outlook. Just another heads up on the above average temperatures, because like I said, even though some of you guys will be dealing with above average snowfall, some of you guys will still be seeing temperatures below freezing due to how low your highs are, especially out here to the west, where we will be tracking the potential for very heavy snowfall. So just to keep that in mind if you do live out there in the west. And that's not going to be the only area to watch for. We will also be watching the central United States and as well as the upper Midwest closely, as you guys look to be the bullseye for well above normal temperatures. And you guys will also see a lot of above normal precipitation. And once again, we will have a lot of atmospheric river events to watch for across the Pacific Northwest, and as well as areas as far down south as Los Angeles potentially. So we will be watching that area closely by the time we head for Christmas Eve into New Year's Eve, and we could be seeing a little bit of a bullseye of above average precipitation across Arkansas, southern Missouri, into eastern Oklahoma, northeast Texas, and as well as a little bit there of extreme northeastern or extreme northwestern Louisiana, I should say, and that could even be up there as far north as the lower Ohio Valley. So we will watch that very closely, so make sure to keep that in mind. And those temperatures could even be above average as we get into our January, with still well above average temperatures ongoing across every single state, with still quite a bit of above normal precipitation. Maybe not as above average, but still above average enough to where we could be seeing some training storm systems roll on through from west to east, so we will watch that very closely, so make sure to keep that in mind. And some of you guys are also asking, will we see a snowy January? And the answer is probably, okay, because January is typically the coldest month of the winter. And so, like I said, if we are dealing with above average temperatures out there to the west, it's still very easily for snowfall to occur across those areas because, like I said, some of you guys see average highs in the 20s, and even if you guys are above average, you guys could still get a lot of snowfall out there to the west. We will be watching those areas closely. Same goes for the Great Lakes region, over into the Mid-Atlantic and as well as the Northeast, where we could be seeing a couple feet of snowfall as we get into January. Now, keep in mind that this is not certain as of right now. We still don't know how January will play out. We just know that it's so cold for most of the United States, it's going to be very easily for snowfall to really occur anywhere. So we're going to watch it closely. I would not be surprised if we did get a little bit more snowfall far down to the south, but keep in mind though that that area is still going to be very questionable. But we'll watch it closely as we get into January. Like I said, something to take with a grain of salt as this still isn't certain, but we'll watch it very closely as we head throughout the months of January. And then for your total snowfall, let's look at the actual total snowfall now. And as you guys can see, we are going to be seeing a lot of snowfall out there to the west. And like I said, snowfall will very easily occur over here, especially in the higher elevations. While we are going to be tracking some potential snowfall across the northern United States, heading from the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, into New York, New Hampshire, New Jersey. Those areas are likely to get maybe a little bit of snowfall. For New Jersey, like I said, you guys might see a little bit, especially if you live in extreme northern New Jersey. It's only going to be a dusting though, so not really seeing anything too crazy over there, but we could still get some snowfall across the northeast, especially as we get into January, so we will keep an eye on that very closely. And then for your total rainfall, this is anywhere from now all the way to New Year's Eve, and as you guys can see, we will be seeing that potential for a lot of rainfall, and that's mainly going to be due to potential severe storms that could be around later this month. And same for the Pacific Northwest, a lot of rainfall can be expected due to atmospheric river events that roll on through, which usually a lot of those are pretty severe with a lot of heavy rain and as well as snowfall, which can lead to flooding. So we'll watch these areas very closely. So if you live pretty much anywhere in Washington, Oregon, or even California, you gotta make sure you are watching this event closely. Otherwise, I'm not really seeing anything in the way of severe weather across the Pacific Northwest. We're mainly just going to be tracking very heavy snowfall and very heavy rainfall. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy today's weather forecast. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so that way you guys don't miss out on any future weather updates on Weather with Sim. And like I said, I will even show you guys my monitor that I get, and I did spend a lot of money on it, so subscribing will help and even support the channel a lot. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to leave a like as well. Those help out more than you know. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys have down below. Feel free to leave anything down below, and I'll get to those in just a second. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. Ooh.